plaintiff, Jessica Campbell, says when she started dating the defendant, she had no idea he was still married. Jessica claims she was head over heels in love with the defendant, and he saved her because she was abusing alcohol. However, Jessica is suing her ex for an unpaid loan and stolen money. Defendant William Casey says Jessica is a good woman, and when he met her, he was on a path of destruction. William claims he was a drug dealer and he would often take Jessica on drug runs with him, but he always felt like he was bringing her down. William says Jessica is suing for more than he owes.
Start with you.
I met Mr. Casey in 2011. In 2012, we began a relationship, and when I tell you I was head over heels in love with him, like, that was my best friend and my lover at the same time. He came in at a time of my life where I had recently lost my mother and my grandmother within a 10-month time span, so I was real depressed, and I turned to alcohol to, I guess, soothe my depression. And Mr. Casey, he really saved me from myself. He was there to let me know it's gonna be okay. We had a great romance.
And that was over the course of how many years?
It was over the course of within a year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How did things go bad?
And it first started in August of 2012. He dropped a bomb on me telling me that his divorce was finalized on the day of our anniversary.
Well, he wanted to celebrate. That's how he wanted to celebrate the anniversary.
How you gonna celebrate by telling me that you're just now
People
divorced?
have their own unique way of celebrating anniversaries.
I guess.
Some folks have divorce parties.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is true.
Women have divorce parties.
I've heard of that, yes, sir.
Men just springing on their woman.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah, like Doyle said, it's cheaper.
It's which I understand, but
All right.
Jan, I have enough stuff to, when Judgment Day comes, I gotta explain to God. I'm not trying to explain why I was sleeping with a married man.
Did you ever question whether he'd been married before?
I knew he had been married, but he always referred to her as his ex-wife, so I'm assuming that divorce was final before we even got together.
Your sin was he had not signed the paperwork.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You think you're gonna go to hell for that?
I mean, I hope not for that, but I'm just saying, like.
Lord, forgive her.
Thank you, Jesus. See, there we go.
You all right now. You all right
I
now.
hope God listens to you. Thank you.
Got me playing with God. Forgive me.
But yes, I mean, after that, of course, I stayed with him because I was in love. That was my baby at that time. So everything was great. Next month comes around, he informs me that he has to go turn himself in for a prior.
That's a bomb, right?
Yeah.
September of the same year, 1 month later.
Yes, sir.
Turn himself in to the police for what?
Before our relationship began, apparently he had some type of drug possession charge.
What year had that drug possession charge occurred?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
You didn't ask?
He didn't tell me everything. He kept some stuff he
That's
told
an
me.
easy question. No, that's not everything. That's a very basic
No,
question
sir, Your
that
Honor,
you
he did
needed
not
to
tell
know.
me.
Someone says, baby, wake up in the morning. Where you going? You going to work, honey? Nope. Where you headed? Turn myself in.
That's pretty much how it was, too.
Yeah.
He said but it was.
Yeah. First question you ask, turn yourself in for what?
There you go.
He answers that question. The next question is, when did that happen? You never got around to that.
The response was before us.
Oh.
He never said any specific day, it was just before us.
Okay.
So, okay, I left at that. Literally went with him to turn himself in. As soon as he found out he didn't get a bond, I went straight to get lawyers.
All right,
bail
we'll
bonds.
get to that. That sounds like some of the money you're suing him for.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you give me some background.
How you doing, Mr. Mathis? Judge Mathis.
Come on with that con now, come on. That ain't nothing. Come on, man.
All right. Jessica was a good woman. Very good woman. We was together, and she was a positive in my life. At that time, I was selling drugs, and I was on a path of destruction. And at that point, she was in nursing school, and she was like just coming out of her situation, and I felt like I was bringing her down. And I felt like that.
How?
Because I was selling drugs. She was coming with me.
She didn't know.
Oh no, she knew. Oh, she knew.
I knew that he was selling drugs while we were together.
She knew. Yeah, she knew.
You knew what he was turning to say. Talking about he sprung it on me.
He did.
Your Honor,
He
Your Honor,
sprung nothing on you.
Your Honor, and this is a good woman. Like, you know, a
I
positive.
know
good,
she is.
She's a good woman.
She a ride or die woman.
Absolutely.
She going with you on drug missions.
Yeah, and Jessica, I apologize for leaving you in that situation like that without letting you know, and I apologize for that because that was really not me not being a man. So
You should have been a con man instead of a dope man. You've done better at the con game. What was your possession charge? How much?
I got caught with an 8-ball of powder.
Okay. You had to get him out of jail, and you put up how much money?
A total of $500.
No, wait a
Dope
minute.
man didn't have $500. You
Wait a
going on
minute.
runs with the man.
Wait a minute.
You risking your freedom for a man that's selling nickel bags.
Yeah. Wait a minute, y'all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. When I turned myself in, I gave her $600.
No, you didn't. It was
Okay.
not $600.
And I
Let's
gave
keep
her
it real.
And she I think she applied that to my commissary and the lawyer. You know.
No, commissary is what you're living. It was not $600. Let's get that straight now.
Yeah, I gave
How
her
much was it, ma'am?
$300. I had.
All right.
Yeah.
And what is the stolen money you're suing for?
Later on, once he had got out of jail, we were back together. I'm under the assumption everything's going fine. He's staying away from the streets. We were both living with other people, and we were talking about getting our own residence together. So we were looking around, and I had given him $425 because where I was staying at, my friends had already stole.
To get a place?
Yes, sir.
And what happened with that?
You can ask him what happened to it. I gave him the money.
I'm not suing him.
I mean,
You have to tell me. I'm asking you.
after I gave him the money, Your Honor, I never saw it nor him again.
When you ask for your money back, what did he say?
I have right here to show you.
Tell me.
He said, "I'm sorry, friend. I've been busy. I'll have something for you next Friday."
All right, sir, what do you want to say to this?
All right. Okay. I gave her the $600 when I went to jail. Okay. She applied that to my commissary and a little bit to the lawyer. Then she came out of her pocket another $375 towards the lawyer to get me out, and I appreciate that or whatever. I'm in agreement of
How
paying.
much was the total price for the lawyer?
I think the total lawyer price was $1,500.
For a drug case?
Yeah, it was.
You weren't even selling nickels. You were selling joints.
Well, it was a possession charge. It
$1
wasn't-
joint. $1 a joint. Go ahead.
So.
Go ahead.
So, you know, I'm in agreement of paying the $375. You know.
What about the money for the apartment?
It was never no money about the apartment. That text right there is actually the $375.
She never gave you money to get an apartment for the two of you?
You
She's
lying.
making this up all together?
Yeah, you know, it's $375 towards the lawyer.
Got that part.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you heard about the 425?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Uh-uh.
Why don't you ask her where she get that from?
Where did you get that from?
Where'd I get it from? You know what? I ain't gonna put her name on here, but we were standing in a friend of mine's kitchen, and when I gave you the money, and I told you to hold it because I didn't feel safe with that amount of money being in her house, and I didn't have a
Remind
bank
him
account.
that you all agreed to move together.
Oh yes, you don't agree to moving, you don't agree riding around.
Because
And
2 days after I got out of jail, that's when I cut loose and left her.
Why?
Because I was bringing her down. I felt like that I was bringing her
Your
down.
Honor, that's a lie.
She was in nursing school. I mean, you know, she was studying to be a nurse and everything. I'm out here selling drugs. She taking rides with me. The next thing you know, she's gonna get hemmed up with me. I don't want that on my conscience.
You want a clear conscience.
Yeah, I'm trying to
you're a
change my
good
life.
drug dealer.
I got out of jail. I changed my life. I'm not the same person I am no more. I'm a different person.
Well,
I got
she thinks you're the same. And if you really want your conscience clean, pay her. That'll clear you.
Yeah, the $375. That's what she. I'm in agreement.
No,
She's gonna continue to think you owe her $425.
I mean,
that won't bother you.
I don't understand why you think that because it's $375.
Will that bother you? The fact that she thinks you owe her, the woman you were bringing down.
Yeah, it would bother me.
There you go. Pay it, it won't bother you anymore.
Can't argue with him.
Okay, all right.
There you go. I got your money. He's not even rejected. $925 is your judgment for the money he agrees he owed and to clear his conscience.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really? You trying to play me and say I lied though? Really?
Hey, look,
really?
like I'm telling you, I apologize.
Nah, because look, all right, first of all, I accept your apology because it took 3 years because you just disappeared on me. And you know how bad you broke my heart because you know how much I depended on you and I needed you and I wanted you there. Everything I was going through. So I accept your apology. But for you to sit up here and say a bold-faced lie in front of all these people, Judge Mathis and everybody else is looking at this, you know when we stood in her kitchen and I gave you that money because we rode around the entire city looking for apartments.
You know, it is what it is.